share screen.
Do you have
a PowerPoint?
Yeah, but I'm asking, do you have they let me see, share screen, advanced sharing options.
And then also I'll be joined by Jose to present.
Yeah, I think all participants can share screen now. Only,
Oh, okay. Yep. No, it's good for me now.
yeah.
And I do apologize. I was hoping to actually show my video on the call today, but my computer has an issue with
So
Zoom
Megan,
and
the rules are
won't let me.
10 minutes for presentation and questions.
So total of 10 minutes.
Yes, please. So you can share
Okay.
it as you want it.
All right. We'll just do a quick
So,
presentation and then we'll use the extra time after we're done talking for anything if there are questions, or maybe we'll just talk at you all some more.
okay.
So, hello everyone. My name is Megan Hess. Many of you here might know me from the WADA community. I've been an active member of WADA since the very early days. I'm actually based in Cameroon, where I'm the co-lead of the Cameroon WADA hub here on the ground, and have been sort of serving on hub's liaison for the past few years. And through that, I got really active into the Cardano community and formed a deep passion for governance, where I saw, we had a voice that we needed to amplify our voice of the WADA community, and then, just anyone in the community that didn't feel that was new and that wanted to contribute. So that's how I met Jose and some of the other FOTREC team members, was kind of through this shared passion for governance. So Jose and myself will be presenting today about one of FOTREC's proposals that we submitted into Fund 11. This one is called Sociocratic DREPs, a representation framework for democratic pluralism. Jose, feel free to just jump in at any point, but I'll kind of lead it how we were doing earlier. So the problem that we wanted to address with this proposal is really around the CIP 1694 program, the DREP program. From our perspective, this role is not something one individual can fulfill. It requires a wide range of skills that's not reasonable to expect one person to have all of. And there's not currently a clear framework defined on how that role should look. So what we propose as a solution is to actually create a framework for DREP teams, which will enable an exceptional representation. And we're proposing a 3-person DREP team to initially launch, with then each of those 3 persons having sub-circles to bring in different expertise ranging from governance, blockchain development, and DeFi. So part of this is based on our joint interest in, as I said, governance solutions, and through FOTREC, and Jose and I have been doing some training over the last few months in sociocracy. I think a few people here have also done that. I think, Afia, you did a sociocracy training as well. But we've really been moved by some of the practices there and have been implementing this in our organization at FOTREC. In particular, how we're organized using circles that are interlinked, and consent-based decision-making, which is kind of a way of giving everyone a voice, such that everyone is okay. It's good. This is something that's good enough for now and safe to try, and also incorporates continuous feedback and improvement. And then Jose, I'll let you jump in here and talk a little bit more about the proposal.
Great, thank you, Megan. So before I jump into talking about the team, I just wanted to state that this proposal has 2 tracks or 2 objectives. So the aim, this comes from a shared passion of governance, as Megan mentioned, but it also comes from a long time research about governance. So a lot of work has come from the FOTREC team and some of the members associated to FOTREC about governance. And this proposal, this DREP exercise, this sociocratic DREP exercise, aims to be the testing ground for that theory to come into practice. So it really is a testing ground, as I just mentioned, all that knowledge that has been collected and has been researched has to be put into practice to prove how it works and whether the nuances that arise from putting it into practice. So of course, it's about providing exceptional representation under the theory that having collective knowledge come together and decision-taking, groupal decision-taking, collective decision-taking through sociocracy is much more powerful than any individual could deliver. So better representation, not only because we have more points of view, but because we have a lot of expertise. So we have different members with different expertise, and coming together might represent the interests of the community better. So better analysis, better connection to the community. So this is where the initial 3-person circle comes into play. So the first member is Joanna Thier. Some of you might know her. She has a deep technical expertise. She runs an SPO, and she has a very close relation with the MENA community, so Middle East and Northern Africa. And there's a very live community there, and she has a deep connection there. Myself, I am from Colombia in Latin America. I'm a member also of the Latin Cardano community. But also Joanna and myself, we're both part of Intersects committee. So I'm part of the civics committee, and Joanna is part of the community committee, and very active also in the shaping of Cardano's governance. So we are connected not only local communities, but as well as the global community who is shaping the Voltaire era and how this CIP 1694 is going to be implemented. And well, Megan, she already presented herself. You know her, she's very connected in the African community. And she has a lot of expertise in governance, a passion about it, and in community development.
You have 3 minutes more.
Yes.
Okay, 3 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe
we're gonna make it shorter than that. So the other 3 members are Kenrick Nelson, who's the founder and president of FOTREC. He's a complex decision-making expert. Øystein Magnus, who is from Norway. He runs Ada North Pool, so he's a legal expert, very passionate about governance as well, and very into developing the notion of the DREPs. And Eric Alson, who's a scholar in the University of Colorado, governance expert. And they will be on the governance side, on the research side. So for what I just mentioned, all the research and writing the conclusions and the learning and the insights that come from this, in order to provide a workshop, framework that others could use to create their own collective DREPs in the future with their own flavors. So for instance, if you see that some parts of what we use are useful, then you could use only that part and disregard others, or you can add something of your own. What we want to do is provide a framework that others can use to enhance and to use to their own necessities.
Yeah, I just want to sort of emphasize that this is both about proposing a solution and creating an educational experience, with also the technical backup of producing a white paper to actually summarize what was done that can be shared amongst the community. And I think, in the interest of time, I'll just put this page up. FOTREC is involved in a total of 5 proposals. One we're partnering with IOG Research on that we're very excited about. 3 of our proposals are specific to governance, so this is really a passion of ours. I don't know if we have time for one question, but if we do, we'd be happy to answer any questions.
Yeah. Any questions from the floor? Yeah, Sunny.
Hello, Jose, Megan. Nice to meet you. I did have a question, and then I think Megan answered it. I was like, damn, but let me just clarify. So this is for the framework, but is it also for the implementation of the framework, or is it just for setting up? Okay, so it is. So you're going to build the framework, and then you're going to use the funding to lay out.
Yeah, so it's both things. We are building a social credit DREP in which Megan, Joanna, and myself will be the initial members,
Right.
The main circle, and then we'll widen it up to sub-circles in different themes and bring on more people who has expertise in different topics and just spread it. And that will be like the playing ground for the framework, which has already been proposed, but we need to see how that works. And then afterwards, we should be able to capture all the learnings and put it into a white paper.
Love it. So you're doing the theory and the test of the practical.
Yeah, so both at the same times. Yeah. At the same time, practical would also become an actual DREP, and the other one is the framework for others to build their own DREPs based on what we learn.
Perfect. And one quick question after that, how are you gonna like attract or recruit or like get people to become these circles?
So I'm going to jump and answer that, Megan, if it's okay.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
So we are connected into different regional communities. So I'm in Latam, Megan's in Africa, and Joanna's in EMEA. But we are also connected with the wider community in different topics. So we're reaching out to DeFi industry and see how they would like to be, if they would like to have a representation within this DREP and the NFT community. And there's different community. Cardano is huge, so that will take time, and we'll try to get people from all the communities.
Thank you so much. And I wish you get funding, because this DREPs thing is really a headache. People have been asking me so much questions, and I've not really been able to, I've actually not gotten myself to really understand it very well. So I wish you'll be able to get funding for us to be able to understand this. Okay, so Sunny, is your thing. The other thing is Megan and Josie. Can you please put your links in the chat so that people will look at your proposal? Yeah, please put your links in the chat. So Sunny, it's your turn. It's 6:45. 10 minutes to go.
Okay, I'm just going to share my screen. It's going to be a quick video, and then I'm going to give a summary, and then 3 or 4 minutes for questions, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to give everyone a bit of warning. Maybe you want to put your volume down just a little bit right now so you don't have a heart attack, okay? But
welcome, Cardano community. Today, we invite you to join us on an extraordinary journey. I'm thrilled to introduce you to Soundrig and Project Simba, where the beat unites to create something truly remarkable. In the world of music, artists face numerous challenges. Limited resources, profit-driven models, outdated tech, and a concentration of power are stifling creativity. It's time to break free from the status quo. Enter Soundrig and Project Simba. We envision a globally accessible platform, a dynamic social impact through Simba, an ethical business model, and blockchain-powered opportunities. Together, we're bringing positive disruption to the music industry. Introducing our game changer, the Cryptid Player. It's not just a multimedia player, it's a shield against piracy, the first on the Cardano blockchain. This embeddable player adds value to creators' content, ensuring they get what they deserve. Dive into Soundrig Tunes, your passport to exclusive artist-curated experiences, from unreleased tracks and interviews to behind-the-scenes footage. It's a gateway to a world of music like never before. But we are not just about music. We're about impact. Project Simba is our commitment to social change. By forming strategic alliances, we amplify our reach and empower emerging talent globally. Our inaugural initiative, Kakuma Studios, is already making waves. We're providing young talented artists in Kakuma refugee camp with the tools and education they need to share their stories and connect with the world. Join us in making this vision a reality. We're flipping the script on the outdated business model. Artists take up to 80% of the revenue, ensuring they receive fair compensation. As Soundrig evolves, so does our ecosystem, creating more revenue streams. Our journey is well underway. From the MVP to Kakuma Studios, we've achieved significant milestones. But this is just the beginning. Your support will propel us towards the launchpad for new artists. Meet the incredible minds behind Soundrig and Project Simba. Our diverse and talented executive team is passionate about reshaping the music industry and driving social impact. Now, Cardano community, we invite you to join our mission. Your votes can complete our ecosystem, ensuring global access to Web3 opportunities and finishing Kakuma Studios. Visit our proposals, read and cast your votes. Together, we can make history. Thank you for being part of the Soundrig and Project Simba journey.
Thank you, everyone. Am I back? Okay, good. So I hope that gives you an overall picture of what Soundrig is, but I just want to clarify some points. We are in the Cardano product category for solutions. And the reason being is because we have been live for a year and a half now. We've launched 12 artists, 8 of whom had never been in Web3 before. One of them was from Africa, from Tanzania, in fact, from the very outset. There were 3 objectives for the MVP. One was to prove if the tech works, which we've proven it does. 2 was to onboard artists from the Web2 world and educate them on Web3 and onboard them and help them to make revenue in crypto, which we have. We've proven that with 12 artists. And the third was to prove if the concept works, whether people understood the idea of the tunes and the exclusive content and the experiences that they get with it. And fortunately, we have also proven that as well. So we've got to the stage where as furthest as we can go with the MVP. Hence why we're asking the community for support in building out this MVP and take it from the MVP to where it needs to be, basically. And that's in the hands of every music artist and fan in the world. With special interest on Africa is because of not only the emerging markets, but we feel that it's one of the places in the world where the opportunity gap is being widened even further than it was in Web 2. I mean, people in the West and the northern hemisphere are not even caught up with Web 3, right? There's a lot of people that are behind. So just imagine what it's like in the developing nations in Africa, Southeast Asia, Latin America, etc. But the reason why we went to Africa in the first place is because I found some artists from Kakuma refugee camp. So this is the other side of Soundrig, which is Project Simba. So you've got 2 areas of 2 parts of Soundrig which are in the catalyst proposals. One is for the product to build it out from MVP to a fully fledged, let's say, Soundrig 2.0. And the second is Project Simba. And Project Simba, well, Simba stands for Social Impact Through Business Alliances. And when I was trying to think about an acronym for it, I was like, social impact. Oh, that's Simba. And I was like, well, Simba was a cartoon character, but let me see if it means anything. So I went and searched what Simba meant. And beautifully, it meant strength. It means lion, but it also meant strength. And I was like, well, this was exactly what we wanted, like unity, strength in numbers, right? The unity of Cardano projects having unity, that strength in numbers as well. So the name was perfect. And what we've done is managed to create the first, let's call it the flagship project of Project Simba, the initiative even. And the idea is that we want to make a symbiotic relationship between education and the creative arts. And what we managed to do was we've got 8 people we took to Kakuma, from Kakuma refugee camp to Nairobi. We recorded their music. I'm really proud to say that they've that 6-track EP that they recorded in the studios is now complete, and we'll be releasing that on Soundrig, as well as all the Web2 DSPs. But this experience wasn't about them just making music. Through this, we've enabled them to learn the whole process of coming up with the song, to taking it to market, and then turning that song into an NFT, creating crypto wallets. And we were also, with our partners, NGBS Wallet, who I'm sure you've heard of, they helped us onboard 9 people just last week onto Cardano through the NGBS wallet. And so this is history in the making. So we've got 9 people who are now the pioneers in Kakuma refugee camp, where 250,000 people live. I think more now. That's the official number, but the number's going up daily because of what's happening in the DRC, in South Sudan, etc. So we've got a growing, it's like a microcosm, basically. It's an economy within Kakuma, a 300,000 odd
You have
strong.
2 minutes.
Thank you. Yeah, about 300,000 people in this township, and is going to be unfortunately growing. So our mission is to bring Cardano into the lives of the people who are being left behind and forgotten through the love of music. And we believe that what we've already demonstrated with the Kakuma project is that these people are more than willing to learn. They just need the tools. They need the tools and the opportunities and the education to enable them to basically catch up with everyone else, and then be able to leverage the opportunities that Cardano brings to the people, right? And we all know, I think we're definitely here because of the whiteboard videos of Charles, and I think most of the people also came because of the same videos. So we are trying to bring that to life, and we're doing it through music and creativity and education and opportunity. So
Okay, you have 1 minute. I want to ask one question.
yeah.
How do you said you have only one African signed up? So how do
No.
we get?
We did that at the very beginning. When we launched the MVP, we had one guy from Tanzania launch with us. Now we have 9 artists from Kakuma refugee camp. We have a young lady we spoke to today called Regina from Tanzania. Baba Elliott, I'm sure you know, he's the Cardano ambassador. He introduced us to her. We have Jose from Ghana, also a Cardano ambassador. He's now searching for artists. We've got artists all over Ghana, Rwanda, South Sudan, Uganda, Kenya. Like, it's growing, and it's growing every day. And it's not just Africa, it's all over the world. But we want to support these artists through Project Simba.
Okay. Don't forget to share your link. Any questions? It's left with one. Oh, it's almost time. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll give people opportunity. Unless there's a very biting question that somebody needs to clarify, we'll go to the next presentation. Is there any very, very hot question somebody wants to ask? Otherwise, the floor is yours, Sebastian. Hello, Sebastian. It's been a very long while. You used to support us a lot, and you've gotten missing in the ecosystem. The floor is yours, Sebastian. Smart Cardano. Or is it Cardano Smart? Yeah, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, thank you, everyone. My name is Sebastian Pereira. I'm part of NFT DAO, and this is our project, Cardano Smart. So Cardano Smart came when we tried to create our first app on Cardano. So we finished the Murbo education courses, wanted to create something, and we find that the Cardano ecosystem is terrible when it comes to documentation and examples. We were trying to find documentation for the smart contract, for the on-chain and the off-chain code, and the documentation was poorly written or outdated. There were a bunch of broken links to repositories and sites. And finally, there were lack of complete examples. There were examples for one team, but not for other portions, or the examples were of versions that were outdated that we could not longer use. So anyway, it was a horrible experience. Because of that terrible experience, we decided to create a solution, and that solution is Cardano Smart. Cardano Smart is a modular framework that creates a bot to answer questions about Cardano. So the first thing that happens is that you choose a bunch of repositories and examples about Cardano in this case. These repositories are downloaded and organized in a vectorial database. Then comes a large language model that trains itself with all those examples, right? It asks questions to itself in order to get better, or you ask it questions in order to rate the results to see how they're going. And after all of that process of training, then it can start taking questions from general users. So the modular design we are proposing is the vectorial database. We are using Mistral, that is an open source large language model that would be included in the repository. And finally, a small user interface for the questions. But the design is modular, so if anyone wants to swap one portion of the system with something else that they think is better, right? Maybe another type of vectorial database, or they want to switch Mistral for ChatGPT or something like that, then they can do so, right? So it will be modules, and those modules are interchangeable with anything else. So here, for example, we have a prototype, and here is going to write a Bluetooth smart contract. No, sorry, a Haskell program. Right, so it's just a small Haskell program that looks for odd numbers in a list. Here is answering a question about Lucid. And here, I think is going to do the just answering what is Cardano. Here is going to write an icon smart contract. That is always true, so the simplest possible one you can write. And finally, this one is the Bluetooth smart contract, right? So that is the most common language, at least for now. So there it is written, and well, this is also the basic one, the one that always succeeds. So so at the moment in our prototype, we are able, where the bot is able to write icon, Bluetooth TX, and for off-chain is able to use Lucid. What we want to work on is PluTS, Plutarch, Mesh, and Atlas, right, for the on-chain and the off-chain. And then we, once the training is over, we want to put it online where people can access. But like I was saying before, this will be also released in an open source repository. So anyone who wants to create their own version of the bot, they can just clone the repository, launch it as it is, or if they want to do modifications, that's also fine. And that would be my proposal. Thank you. Yeah, Jose.
Sebastian, so congratulations. This is great stuff. I was wondering, is this going to be available only in English, or are you thinking about other languages?
Well, Mistral has human language models, right? You could write in Spanish or in French and things like that. We haven't tested that so far. We're very focused only on the code and things like that. But plausibly, it could translate documentation to other languages, but well, the quality of the translations and things like that, I couldn't say at this moment.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Sebastian. I got a
Yep.
question. I don't want to see if I understood correctly. So this is going to be or is it going to be rather like a plugin for any project to be able to put towards their, like utilize it as an LLM or a chatbot or something like that for their own documentation, or just it's going to be just for Cardano, as in like Foundation or something like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, the developers category requires that any tool is open source. So we're going to put it in a repository, and if a project wants to download it and train it with their own data, either specific to their project or maybe other types of code examples that are not related to Cardano, they can do so. But we are going to create an instance of the bot, and we are going to host it, obviously, and people will be able to access and ask questions to it. But yes, anyone can just get the repository and do whatever they need with it.
I love that, because I've got I envision an issue where some artists, let's say for our platform, music artists, would want to know how to do certain things, and this type of tool would be very beneficial if they wanted to like learn how to use whatever in terms of crypto understanding or use a platform. So we'd love to work with you in the future when it's built.
Yeah, no, write me. I'll put my email there in the chat.
Thank you.
You're muted, Afia. I see you talking, but not behind.
Yeah, I was saying that apart from putting your proposals in the chat, you can also put your contacts in the chat so that people who want to network, share ideas, you have the floor to. Unfortunately, I was going to give the floor to Genty, but he's run away because I think he has another engagement. So he's put the link to his proposal in the chat. Please, 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 you can look at it and then do annex to the proposal for us. He's put his proposal in the chat. Look at it and then please vote for him. So with that, are there questions or should we go to the next one? Remo starts. AC Williams, I don't know whether she's here. Remostat AC Williams is not here. Genty too has left. Another Remostat. I don't know what's happening to the Remostat people, but then, okay, Solomon Salifu, you can do your presentation now whilst I look for the Remostat people.
Okay. So let me share my screen out. Okay, great. I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you so much. So thanks for considering me. I didn't have the opportunity to share out on the slide. The Google Forms, I have some few challenges, but I'm able to work it out. So my proposal has to do with empowering SMEs in the northern part of Ghana to be aware and also take advantage in the Cardano ecosystems. And so the topic has to be enhancing them and to take advantage. So what brought about the initiative was the fact that after having worked with some of the Cardano partners in the northern region, gone around with them, I realized that there are a lot of business and then small scale businesses that runs through the people, and they don't have the opportunity to keep saving their monies like we have from the Bank of Ghana, and then Ghana government pays you and then it's in the bank. They have it more like a daily cash in outflow, and somehow to be able to keep it or to be able to nurture it to grow became a problem or becomes more of an issue. And so I got in touch with a lot of organizations that deals with small scale enterprises, and these were some of the challenges they outlined to me. And I said, well, it means that we could also have a different strategy of keeping their money and being able to make more income using their money. So then the problem statement has to do with lack of awareness and the knowledge about Cardano, which I seek to empower them into. And so one of the strategies or solution would have to deal with more with the community in terms of education and then other ways of proposing initiative that could help them. And so our objective would be to create awareness and the understanding of cryptocurrencies and then Cardano blockchain as a whole. Then also to integrate training session into some industry specific events. For instance, we could identify areas where a lot of the SMEs usually have their trainings, and then we can go and also speak to them and be able to share some ideas relative to Cardano and then blockchain as a whole. Then also organize our own workshops, in terms of trainings and other capacity buildings in the area of Cardano and blockchain. Then we are saying that this should foster Cardano participation in the whole round. And in general, we're looking at entrepreneurship enhancement. So we said that some of the challenges could be we could encounter, or these are challenges we envision that could come in future when we try to. We're saying that one, there's a lot of uncertainties when it comes to currency controlment in the African market. And if you're a Ghanaian and you know, you can actually tell that in few months of last year, we realized that the banks had a lot of policies from Bank of Ghana and money to be slashed down. And so people have difficulty in putting a whole sum of money into the bank, but they don't really know how to channel it into more investment that could generate more income for them. And so we're saying that another challenge could be their lack of awareness in the blockchain and cryptocurrency as far as Cardano is also concerned. And we are saying that the legality of the environment and then the country is also another concern area where people are most likely to be more concerned, especially businessmen not knowing, you know, a lot about the Cardano and trying to invest their money. They have the feeling that if it is also partly controlled by the system in governance, then it would affect them at the long run because they have seen a lot already in Ghana and what is happening. And then we are saying that some of the fear or the challenge would encounter is the fear of them, you know, investing into more decentralized areas they don't have full control of. For instance, you have a bank, and when you put your money there, you can easily walk into the bank and lodge a complaint and tell them, no, my money is cut and this and this and that. Whether the solution is granted or not, you have the physicality of that. But they have this perception that with cryptos, you don't have full control. You're not even seeing where your money is, and it's more of abstract to them. And the fact that some of them have heard a lot of negative about cryptocurrencies, and a lot of people have come to develop apps that could, you know, take a lot of money. And as I'm talking, just in this last November, December before Christmas, there were some apps that came and picked a lot of money from people, you know, used it for Christmas and just shut down. So all these are myths about cryptos, which needs to be disabused in the mind, especially in the area of SMEs where they have cash inflow every day in their lives and they don't really know how to go about it. So if you look at my solution, we are saying that one of the key ways we'll do is to link up with an organization that already has a lot of the SMEs in their domain. Then we will work with them, you know, get to let them understand, and then they can organize them for us, or through that, their database, we can have some of their contacts and be able to work around that. Then also some industry events, like I mentioned earlier on, with some conferences, you know, in relevant areas of the SMEs where they can be trained in the utilization of Cardano. And we can also use some traditional medias like, you know, radio stations and some other addressing system that can give out information to them. Maybe on TV as well, we can go and then have this myth, you know, and this misconception rectified in the minds of people. Because whether they like it or not, we are moving from the traditional to the, you know, information and then to the crypto age. And so the better they have information and know the earlier, the better for them. Yeah. And then, so we're saying that one of our aims of the project is to have financial inclusion. And then when they are included in that, we say that they also can have innovations through the catalyst. And then in the long run, we're looking at entrepreneurship empowerment. So they are not just only localized in their business and making local money, but they also have an insight into the international market, and then, you know, expand their horizons as to how to make a lot of money using the little they have. And so our activities will be, like I said, engaging local and regional associations, using media, industry specifics, and then training and organizations.
You have
so
3
these are
minutes.
just a few. Okay, so these are just a few indicators. You can read it, and I'm saying what indicates that we are making progress is when there's membership growth, and then we have a lot of them also participate in the catalyst, and then being able to download the wallet and then start some transactions. Then our output could be reporting as you would require from us, and so some social media updates and some educational videos. Yeah, so these are our milestones, and then like I have shared already in the page. You can read more about it in my idea scale and then be able to get some of the things that is needed. And so this is my budget. Something on the mile one, we need some 33.5 for that amount to complete the first mile, and then likewise the second mile and the third mile, dependent. And so all things being equal, if we have the funding, these are some of the things we would like to invest into social media, material engagement, seminars, and then like a hall renting, t-shirts, brochures, and some materials tailored into these SMEs that can help them adapt and understand the whole thing about Cardano and then be able to use it maximum. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. So this is my team experience. The first three are people I work with in other areas, but the last part, and some of you may have known them, I work with Jeremiah Bani a lot when he had Fund 9 and Fund 10, and Mustafa also. Then Robert, who has been a motivational speaker, we work together and going to all around the universities and campus, and then building capacities in terms of Cardano and cryptocurrencies.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah, questions for me?
Thank you. Any questions for him? First question. Do you know that in this country, Ghana, where you're also doing this program, cryptocurrency is not legally accepted? Most of the work that we are doing is onboarding people into Cardano, educating them on blockchain and what uses they can. But officially, the word cryptocurrency is not to be heard or said. I don't know whether you are aware of that.
Okay. Yes. I have heard a lot about that, especially with regards to the negativity that portrayed from the other part, where a lot of people use that as an advantage to dupe people and then to take advantage of them. And so you realize that in news you can see a lot of government.
The Bank of Ghana that controls our financial whatever don't accept cryptocurrency. What I want to say is, for example, now in Nigeria, they've come out to say that you can trade in cryptocurrency. But in Ghana, we do it. It's ongoing. But the Bank of Ghana has not legally accepted it. So I don't know how you are going to do all this over TV, whatever, all this medias. And if Bank of Ghana had not agreed to that, how is going to affect your proposal? In any case, please, you can think about it. That I just wanted to draw your attention to it. If you've not, you don't know about that, I want to draw your attention to it, and then you see how you shape your proposal. Yes, Sunny, you had your hands raised.
Yes, thank you, Afia. And it was a lovely presentation, Solomon. Well done. I love what you're doing. And even though Afia's got a point, I think it's still important to drive the education, because at some point the banks are going to catch up, right? But you want the people to be ahead.
I'm saying. We are doing the education a lot. We are doing Cardano, onboarding, blockchain education, and all those things. But the moment you go and say crypto, then they'll descend on you. We've been doing.
That's fine. I mean, Afia, it comes down to this: if the businesses and the SMEs are fed up with the legacy system, and they're looking for something new, at some point the banks will catch up. You've seen what happens. It's even happened internationally, globally, with the ETFs being accepted. So they're going to catch up. What you want, though, is the people to be ahead of time. That's why we're doing it with music, right? And what Solomon's doing with business is equally important, because the businesses drive the economy in the local areas and nationally, right? So when it comes to the onboarding and the education, I guess it's not even a question, it's more so as a suggestion, Solomon, is that and I've spoken to Jeremiah, so you can talk to him about us, right? When it comes to the entertainment businesses, people in that industry, especially with money, is very difficult to keep control of cash flow. You need a trustless system because there's too many sharks there, right? We will be happy to work with you in bringing this to the entertainment side of the business, because if people in that end of the business do it, then other people will follow, right? What I want to understand is that the proposal that you're doing for, is it for one event, or is it for like a season, or how long is this 30,000 ADA going to last for? And what do you anticipate in doing after? Like, are you going to propose again? Like, how does it look like for the next 6 months or year?
Yeah, so I think with a lot of consideration, we realize that it should start with a 3 month period. So we have MAR 1 month, MAR 2 2 months, and then 3 months. Then after that, we will look at the next stage of another proposal where we can now go deeper into more of the acceptance part. Yeah, but I like what Afia is trying to. I think Afia's concern is more if it is not accepted, then you try to speak it on TV or more of an elaborate channel. Then you can have a lot of people descend on you trying to act it up. So I think that is where I may have to shape in to look at another strategy of awareness creation.
You can also
Maybe,
work with NGBIS Wallet, because we just got some AIDA sent to some refugees in Kakuma refugee camp, and they used NGBIS Wallet to cash out to their M-Pesa, and it works really well. So they've managed to buy themselves food in a refugee camp through crypto. It's never been done before in a refugee camp. So if it can be done there, it can be done anywhere in the world. And this is a good workaround because it's a mobile payment system that is being used by everyone all over the world, Africa, right? In terms of M-Pesa. But it's not just M-Pesa, they can work with other ones as well. And it's a legit Cardano wallet. So this is one thing that you can leverage and put in part of your education as well, if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you all. Solomon, please put your contacts and things for networking in the chat. Thank you all for coming. And we hope this is not the last time we are seeing you in Africa Town Hall. You'll be visiting us from now and then because we have a lot to share. I really appreciate your time for being here. And I wish you luck in all your proposals. We'll do as much as possible how we can advertise your proposals for you. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Afia.
Thank you, Afia.
Thank
And
you.
Afia, we want to
Bye-bye.
work with you as well, Afia. So make sure you get in touch.
I will.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Let me put my contacts in the list.
Yeah, please.
It's very simple. If here at WADA,
Okay.
wada.org.
I'm sure
That's my
Afia
contact.
will mentor me more and vote massively for me.
Got it.
I actually lead the Ghana hub. I'm the lead of WADA Ghana hub, and I've done a lot of onboarding, a lot of programs since 2021 when I joined the Cardano family. So I'm here. I would love to collaborate with anybody. You can keep me in touch, and I'm actually interested in your music thing, so we can keep in touch and then keep talking.
Absolutely, Afia. We've got these agent managers that are bringing on these artists. So if you're musically gifted yourself, or if you just love music.
My daughter loves music. My daughter loves music. My daughter
there you go. Let's get it on. Let's get it on.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Afia.
Good luck, everyone, with your proposals.
Best of luck.
Thank
Thank
you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Vote for our proposals as well.
Yeah, it's true. Massive votes, yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.